Welcome, No Timeout fans. My name is Morgan Mitchell.
And I am Marcel Bowie.
Marcel, the NBA is back. We're about to be in this bubble life. We got a schedule release. What do we know about the schedule?
Well, the schedule was released this past Friday. 22 teams will be invited to Orlando, and there will be a maximum of 7 games per day. Tip-off starts at noon and can go up to 9 p.m. Eastern. There will be 3 total courts, and 2 will be for prime-time games.
All right, cool. Well, I know we are starting off with TNT on the first day with a nice doubleheader. You want to tell us about it?
Oh, yes. We have the Utah Jazz versus New Orleans Pelicans, and we have the Battle of LA. This will be the 4th game that the Clippers will face the Lakers. And the Clippers have won 2 out of the 3 that they've played already. So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, I'm real interested. I want to see which All-Stars are going to be playing and how many minutes they're going to be playing. Because, it's still going to be kind of preseason-ish. And if I already have my playoff spot and I'm LeBron, I'm probably not going to give you 4 quarters. But, I might give you like a good half and then get my legs under me, work my way into it, and then decide to like ramp it up for the actual playoffs.
Yeah, that makes sense. But, for teams like New Orleans who don't have a playoff spot, they'll be fighting for one. They got to get into it early and figure out how this will work within the 8 games that they have to get into the AFC to beat Memphis, to get over at Memphis, because they're currently in the AFC right now in the West. And that West is very interesting. You got Memphis at 8, Trailblazers at 9, Pelicans at 10, Kings at 11, Spurs at 12, and at 13, the Suns. And to get into the playoffs, that 9th seed has to be within 4 games of that 8th seed for the final remaining 8 games that we have in Orlando. And if they are within that, if that 9th seed is within that 4 games, they have a 2-game play-in scenario. And if the 9th seed wins both those games, they get that 8th spot. So that's going to be fun to watch as well.
Yeah, you bring up Portland. They got a tough schedule. They're playing all teams that are already in the playoffs from the East and the West, but they don't have time to warm up at all. And then as you talk about, we got a lot of people fighting. Now, some of the teams in the West that are going to be there, do I think they're going to be competing for a real spot? No. But in this new format, crazy things could happen. So who knows?
Who knows? That's why we got to finish the season out and see what's really good. So who's the team you'll be watching for the reopening of the season?
So I think that the Raptors are going to be a good squad. Like I've talked about, they have a lot of good role players. And I think just chemistry-wise, they're gelling, and they're already in Florida. So I don't think that their 5-on-5 stuff has started, but they're all around each other. They're starting to work out again. So I think they're going to be in a really good spot. And then when we look at the West, I feel good about the Clippers. I feel I know there's still some questions on what guys are going to play or not play in the bubble, but they seem ready. We have Pat Bev getting a little spicy on Twitter because Jared Dudley, who didn't at anybody, just brought up a good point that there might be some soft tissue injuries because guys are going from not playing to now playing for playoff spots, and things could just get a little messy.
And Bev, tweets him back and says, again, basketball's a year-round sport. We don't want to hear that. Check ball. Let's get it.
So, yeah, the opening night, I love that it'll be Lakers, Clippers. Should get real spicy. Or maybe it won't because maybe people aren't really going to play like that. I don't really know. What do you think?
I think it's gonna get spicy. The Clippers gonna bring that intensity off rip because they have a goal, they have an objective, and they have Pat Bev, and they have really good team chemistry. And I feel like that's gonna play into the psyche of the playoffs. We won the series. We're in pandemic and we got y'all this first game, and we'll see what happens in the playoffs. But I'm excited for sure. And then going back to what Jared Dudley said about the soft tissue, we're gonna have Kierre Jordan, a pro basketball player, on with us later in the show to talk about, the training that he's done with some of these NBA players and get their mindset going back into the reopening of the NBA.
Yeah, he is training guys like Brandon Ingram and Lonzo, so hopefully he can give us some good insight on that Pelicans roster.
Young guns. We'll see if they make the playoffs. I'm excited.
Me too.
No Timeouts fans, we have a special guest joining us today. I've known this man for over 10 years, helped me win 2 rings while I was chilling on the bench, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I can, stun on Justin whenever I need to. One of the best basketball players out of Georgia I've seen play, Dunwoody High School, very young. We went to 5-star basketball camp, won a championship there too. Kierre Jordan, Key the trainer, training amazing players coming up right now and in the league. Thank you, Key, for joining us.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me, man. Thank you for having me, for sure.
How have you been during all this chaos?
I've been doing good, man. I mean, I think that it's really just been a time to kind of reset, enjoy family, enjoy your loved ones, even my friends, we talk a lot more. I've seen a couple of my friends during this time, so it's really just been a good time to kind of just, mend, family that I don't see as much or talk to as much, or even friendships, the same thing, it's been a good time, not in regards to what's going on with the COVID stuff, but just being able to kind of just reset life, kind of, reset and start, I feel like once this is over with, it'll be a fresh start, just mentally, spiritually, I think that matters more than, us chasing the dollar all the time, society kind of speeds us up, whereas this kind of slowed us down a little bit and allowed us to enjoy, different things.
And with Georgia opening up, like we're all here, how has that been? Like, are you now allowed to be in the gym? Is it still not? Like, what's the situation?
Well, I've been able to be in the gym, actually over the past, I'd say month. I've been in the gym. There have been a few facilities that have allowed me to train and stuff. I've really been real cautious. I've only worked with people that I've been working with over the past couple of years. And even if it is new clientele, I try not to do more than 5 people in that group if they're younger. And then I'll make sure that my teaching, is from a distance, a little 6 feet window or whatnot that they're recommending. I make sure that happens. It's a little different too. I'll come home or I'll leave the gym and I got to wipe the balls down with my hand sanitizer wipes or spray it with Lysol, make sure I put my balls in the trunk now opposed to in my car. So there's a few different things, but, I've still been able to work. It's still, I've been able to, kind of keep it rolling.
Bet. So let's get right into it, man. How long have you been training and who was your first client?
Okay, so I've been training for 7 years now, to be exact with the time. I want to say 8 actually, so 2012 to now, so 8 years. My first client was Antavia Waller. They call him Tay Waller. He played high school basketball at Manchester High School, played his college career 2 years at Auburn University, and he's actually still playing overseas now. And I still train him as well, so he's getting paid really good, and he's still, he's still rolling over there.
Yeah, and we talk about, getting clients and all that stuff, and I'm sure a lot of young kids now, because training has been such a huge thing that you see everywhere on social media. Right. How has it been for you training the youth, and like what's so important from that?
I think the main thing, for me and my approach to the youth is just making sure that they don't let social media kind of take over who they are, and kind of, doing stuff that may not be in their game or, things that they're trying to learn and do, kind of take a step at a time, so the first thing that I make sure that I implement is the fundamental aspect of the game, because, without the fundamentals, it's hard to kind of develop as a player, because there's so many players out here, everybody's doing something. So, to stand out, you have to have the fundamentals, and then I also try to teach the mindset as well to kind of always work hard. Hard work, can outdo a lot of people, so that's my main focus when it comes to teaching the youth.
Word. And when a player comes to you for help, tell us about, you kind of touched on it just then, tell us about your process and what drills you select for the specific players?
Okay, I'm gonna answer that when it comes to the professional level, so college and the pro guys. There really has to be a conversation realistically in terms of what I think. I make sure that I ask them, hey, what do you want to work on? What do you think your weaknesses are, your strengths, whatever. But then from my standpoint as well, considering the fact that I've been in the NBA world for a few years now, it's just really just making sure that you fulfill your role, So it may be a guy who wants to say, hey, I want to work on ISO stuff. And I'm like, hey, you need to make sure that you work on knocking down this 3-ball consistently, or making sure that your body is, is defined. You're passing the eye test, for NBA team or for overseas or the G League, or, if you're a college player, you got to make sure that you can shoot the 3-ball well. You know what I'm saying? So everybody is a different approach, but I think the main thing is just being able to sit down and say, hey, we got to both agree on what it is that you need to develop in this amount of time in order for you to be successful as a player and play as long as you can. So every situation and story player is different, but as long as we have that talk and that understanding, then I think we're going in, we work. I'll watch film with those guys, and we'll just kind of break down things that they need to work on, and also make sure that we can improve their strengths as well, while we're working on the weaknesses.
Yeah, and we talk about, your professional clientele. You have an NBA All-Star on the roster, Brandon Ingram.
Yeah.
How did that relationship kind of develop, and what was that process for you guys?
Oh man, so I won't be too long with the story, but I was introduced to him through Jerry Stackhouse, who was one of his mentors. They're from Kinston, North Carolina, the same area. At the time, I was training Lorenzo Brown, who played with the Raptors 905. So he was the point guard for Stackhouse when Stackhouse was the coach for the G League team. And Stackhouse was in town. Long story short, we ran across each other in the gym. I say, hey, this is, I'm Kierre. I train Lorenzo Brown. He's like, hey, come to the gym. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'll come to the gym, check you out, whatever. So that given day, he has Brandon Ingram in the gym. So I said, wow, for me, I'm not really starstruck, but I'm still like, damn, he in the gym. So I started out the workout actually just rebounding, So I was rebounding, not really in the way. And then the last 30 minutes, Brandon, and there was a couple other college guys who grew up playing with Brandon and Stackhouse's AAU team. And Stackhouse was just like, yo, run the workout the last 30 minutes. So I'm like, okay, I give it what I got. So from there, every time that they were in town for, I want to say the next 2 weeks, and every time that they wanted to work out, they say, hey, Key, you got them, you can work them out. And then from there, Brandon would start hitting me up, and we just built the relationship. So from here on out, for the past 2 years, from last year when he was with the Lakers to now, he's had me as his guy. So it's been a blessing, and it's been a good road so far.
That's an awesome story, man.
Yeah,
so
for
seeing
sure.
how everyone's always, connected,
right?
In some sense. So how happy were you when Brandon Ingram was first selected for his first All-Star team?
Man, I was really happy, man. I mean, I know that the trainers try to take the credit, for a lot of stuff, and I wanted to take the credit in terms of his growth to an extent, but most importantly, it was God and it was his determination, in his situation. And then I'm last, when it comes to the whole process, but I was happy for him, man. He was, they were talking about it. I was like, man, this is exciting, So even being able to go up there and, experience that whole situation as his trainer, and as part of his camp, him making that All-Star game, man, it was a great feeling.
What was the biggest adjustment that you guys made to his game from the time you started working together?
I think the biggest thing was just kind of, it was more just situation, to be honest with you. It was more situation, being in LA, being in that light, at such a young age, 18, then 20 years old, 2 years, you're young, So he was able to kind of grow within himself, being 21 now, 22, in New Orleans, They just kind of have a situation where, hey, it's my team, it's my show, He was just more comfortable, and stuff that we did in the gym was just really a lot of ISO work, him getting to his spots, he focused on a lot of shooting at one point with the guy Fred Vinson, who's a shooting coach there in New Orleans, and then we would do our player development stuff after, the step backs, the hezzies, finishing at the rim. So he just got a combination of both, and it kind of just allowed him to just kind of, his confidence was just there. Days that he was tired, he'll come from practice, he'll take a 2-hour nap, we'll go right back in the gym for 2 hours, So I think his work ethic was just there, not only to make the All-Star game, but it just kind of proved to those guys in LA that got rid of him, or even the NBA, like, look, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is my league, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm ready. So that's what the process looked like.
And we're, headed back into NBA play now.
Yep.
And they're fighting for a playoff spot. So I don't know if you guys have been able to work out or not, but how has he either been getting ready to kind of return back to play, or is that process just starting? And what's the expectation?
He's excited to play. I've actually seen some NBA guys that are not on his team, and I've spoken to others that'll be in the playoffs as well, and they're excited. You know what I'm saying? They're like, man, they want to go back and, they're still playing for something. This is their career, this is their livelihoods. They don't want to wait and, a whole another year to say, hey, we could have won a championship, or, I could have had the playoff experience, whether nobody's in the stands or, it's a packed house. You know what I'm saying? But for me and Beato, we've been able to work out. We've only worked out probably 2 weeks worth of time since the pandemic has hit, because the gyms were closed, traveling was limited, it was just a lot of factors. But we were able to work out a week here in Atlanta, and then we just did a week in North Carolina last week. He was hitting the weights real heavy, trying to get that, muscle mass up there, during this little break. And then we were able to, kind of still work on the same stuff we've been working on. The hezzies, the step backs, the separation, him just staying creative, offensively with the basketball.
Word.
Yep.
I'm excited to see them go on a run to try
No,
to make
for
it.
sure. I'm excited too, man. I'm excited too. And their schedule should help too. I don't know if y'all seen the schedule, but their schedule isn't as complicated as some of the other teams. So it should really help them get into that 8th seed and, be able to make a push.
Yeah, I see they got the Jazz, Kings, Clippers, Grizzlies, Spurs,
Yep.
Magic.
Yep.
Should be all right.
Yep. You know what I'm saying?
And it should all be healthy now, so
Right.
time to go.
Yep. That's one thing that he really pointed out to me too. He was just like, he kind of needed a little break for his body. You know what I mean? Like, he was going hard, playing 30 plus minutes a game. You know what I mean? Taking 18 to 20 shots. Like, it's a toll on your body too, So then being able to reset and go back into that thing, I think they'll get the results they're looking for.
Word. And you've been working out with the player for a while. Top 5 in the lottery. I think personally on every draft board, top 5 in the lottery for the 2020 draft. Anthony Edwards.
Yep.
How did you meet him? And how did you start training him? How are you prepping for him for the league?
So I met Ant, he was 15. He may have been 14, 15. He's actually from the same side of town that my dad is from, which is the southwest side of Atlanta. He was going to Darrell High School. He actually was referred to us, or to my dad at the time. He was referred to my father by my friend Jess. And she was like, Coach, you got to get over here as a kid, man. He got game, he's talented, And, at the time, when you're a little younger, everybody's like, oh, he's just, the next kid pretty much, you know what I mean? You don't know who high he's really going to be. But long story short, my dad put me with him. We were training, working out. He loved the workouts, and it helps also too, having NBA guys on your resume, you know what I mean? Because they're like, man, I want to be, like those guys or better. Or, he'll say stuff to me sometimes like, man, we get to the gym, kid, I'm going to bust their ass, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I like that, you know what I'm saying? I like that. And sorry for cursing too, but, it'll just be a good, it's just a good energy from him at all times. But we've been working. He's really, the workouts really don't speak for anything, because during the game, he's just so talented, man. It's like certain stuff you just can't teach. You know what I mean? And I think he's one of those players where, whether it's shooting a 3, whether it's being athletic, to dunk on somebody, or slicing through the lane. You know what I mean? Just everything that he has is just like natural, God-given ability, you know? And he's a gym rat as well, but some of that stuff you just can't teach. You know, I ain't gonna lie to you.
How ready is he for the league, you think?
Oh, he's ready right now, man. Right now. I mean, people don't know this, but he's a year younger, so he's supposed to be doing the extra year of high school when he was at Georgia anyway. You know,
reclassified, yeah, I remember.
Reclassified up, you know what I'm saying? So you got somebody 18 who's gonna be, you know, 19, you know, right when he comes into the league. I mean, they were saying last year that he would be ready to start or play right away in the league at Georgia. You know what I'm saying? At 18 years old. You know what I mean? So he's definitely ready. And I don't know if you've seen some videos of him or his build, but I mean, he's 225 now. You know what I mean? At 19.
What?
20. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's there physically. You know what I mean? And a lot of guys that come into the league that young, they're not physically ready. You know what I mean? Like, you even look at Ja Morant, like he's talented, but he's not physically, you know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I mean? So that answers your question. He ready right now. Right now.
How does it change things though? Like, obviously in normal life, he would have been, it's draft time, so he would have been drafted. He would have had some workouts before that with teams, and then he would have been going into summer league, and you know, depending on the circumstance, either play or not play, but would have already been building. Now that everything's been pushed to like October now, does that change anything? Like, is he a little concerned? Like, what's his feelings right now?
I mean, I don't think it is. I mean, I think anybody that has pretty much made the statement that he's made, you know, I mean, I think it's just kind of like, you know, you just kind of keep working and you just be ready when the time comes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, regardless, in my eyes, I mean, he's number one, not just because I know him or I work with him, but physically and his scoring ability and the things that he's capable of doing on both ends of the floor is unmatched, you know, in my opinion, at 6'5". So that's how I see it.
What team do you think will get the best out of him if they draft him? Like, where do you want him to see play at?
So I seen the top 3 teams that had the chance to get him would be like Golden State, Minnesota, maybe Atlanta. I don't believe in having a kid that's from Atlanta play in Atlanta. I just think that, you know, it's too much pressure, it's too much, you know, going on here in general when it comes to that. I think that the team that'll get the most out of him will be the Warriors, because they have a winning mentality already. You know what I mean? So if you're coming from, granted, he didn't win at Georgia, but he's competitive enough to where he can step into a situation like that and have somebody like Draymond and Steph, guys who love the gym, love to win, even Kerr as the coach, you know what I'm saying, get on them every day. It's like you get the most out of your situation, you know what I mean? And I think those first 3-4 years are really important for a player like that.
That's so interesting because you have, like, I saw LeVar kind of feels the opposite way about LaMelo, right? Like, he doesn't want him on a team that already has a strong core and where he's going to have to learn a lot. He wants LaMelo to go somewhere and start and play and do everything immediately. But do you feel differently about, you know, younger guys getting that time to develop? Because, you know, at 18, 19, like, you shouldn't have to necessarily put a team on your back. But is there something too, like you're saying, having that leadership and learning all those things and then stepping into the limelight?
Yep. I just think everybody's situation is different. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's situation is different. Everybody grows differently as a player in the NBA. You know, there are certain guys who struggle the first 3-4 years because they're in a situation like you're talking about where they want the team to themselves. They want to start. They want to go through trial and error. And it works for them. You know what I'm saying? Because they got money in the bank and they're like, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. Whereas other players or situations is like go into a winning program. You know what I mean? If you learn how to win early, if you learn how to carry yourself as a professional early, then you have a longer career and a better career, in my opinion, when it comes to certain players. You know what I mean? So I just think every player, you know, has a different situation. But for Ant, I think he's one of those players that needs to go into a winning situation where you got veterans around you on the coaching staff and on the floor.
Let's get into our next segment.
Okay.
We call this For the Culture. It's gonna be rapid fire questions that you have to answer.
Okay. All right.
Question number 1. If you had to pick one player, past or present, who would you want to train?
Ooh. Past or present? Ooh, Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant. Late great Kobe.
Respect.
I loved Kobe. Man.
Out of Atlanta natives, best player that you've seen or played against in high school?
Lou Williams. Hands down. Scoring, I mean, everything. Lou Will.
Fair. Lou Will's a killer. Stop for that. Whew. All right. Top 5 favorite musical acts out of Atlanta.
Out of Atlanta.
Yep.
Ooh. Jeezy. Future. I'm gonna throw Outkast in there.
Have to.
I'm gonna throw him. What do you mean I'm gonna throw him in there?
Yeah.
It's full.
Ooh.
Jeezy, Future,
That fifth one is tough. Who did I say? Future, Outkast.
GP.
Yep. T.I. Come on, Key. Come on, Key. Ooh, don't put this on record, but gosh,
we are filming.
He looks like a
We are
big
filming.
nigga.
I know. Let's put Gucci at 5.
I
Let's
respect.
put Gucci at 5.
We'll just say that this is not in any order.
Yeah, okay, I got you. That's 5. We got it?
Yeah. And wait, I got one more.
All right.
Rate Lonzo's album 1 to 5. Rate. Have you heard it yet?
Lonzo Ball.
His album 1 to 5. Have you heard it? You like it?
I heard it. Yeah, I like it for sure. I'm a fan. I'm always support my people. You know what I'm saying?
You need to ask him that. He can't
Regardless.
Googly.
Hey, come on now.
What's he supposed to say? Nah, it's trash.
Come on now. Give it a 4.8. You know what I'm saying? Run it up. You know what I mean? That's like Drake. I'm a Drake fan. Anything Drake come out with, somebody can be like, oh, that shit. Nah, I love it.
The Tootsie Slide is your jam.
Oh, for sure.
You were doing some TikToking.
Come on, man. Look, now I don't do all that TikTok and stuff. Now I'm too old. Hey, that song, come on. I'm going to hit it a couple times now. Hey.
I love it. All right. For our next and final segment,
okay,
you're going to have to give us a time out.
Okay.
Because someone or something that's wilding out right now that you're like, you need to chill.
Yep. I was gonna say COVID, but I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say B Simone. Yeah, that COVID needs to chill, but B Simone, she needs to take a timeout. Yeah, let's give her a timeout because the stuff that she's talking about with men and she can't date this, that, and the third. I'm just kind of like, come on, baby girl, like, you know, you came from something too now. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing, and then 2, it was no need for her to go on that type of rant. You know what I'm saying? There's no need for that because some of those men that she talking about can be the men that treat her the best. You know what I mean? Over guys who she think, oh, they got their own stuff going, whatever, and they ain't treating you worth nothing. You know what I mean? So, and I can go on about that, but she needs a timeout for sure.
She's taking many L's.
Yeah.
Many.
Definitely. Yeah. Right.
So I'm with you. Well, Key, thank you for joining us. We loved having you on No Time Out and getting all the amazing insight for the players and talking about your development as a trainer. Thank you so much.
No, for sure. Thank y'all for having me, man. I look forward to doing something in the future too. All right.
Right, give us how can the people follow you, man?
Not hashtag shit. At Key the Trainer. Key the Trainer, spelled KEETHE Trainer. All one word. I'm on there. I'll follow you back. Show me some love. I'll show you love. You know. That's it.
Word. We appreciate you, Key, man. Be safe out here, bro.
All right, you too, my dog. All right, Mort.
All right, for No Time Outs, I'm Morgan Mitchell.
Marcel Bowie.
Thank you.
Peace.